My name is Joe McGrath and I'm with you till 7 o'clock tonight talking all things Manchester United with the wonderful Jay and Webby back for the third week on the trot. Hello Webby, you good?
Yeah, good.
And Jay, yourself?
Yeah, good mate, good to see you again.
We're going to be talking about Anthony Martial signing that 5-year contract to Manchester United, chatting about someone who's left the club, Marouane Fellaini, which is a place in all of our hearts, and what might Ollie have learnt from the game against Burnley, the 2-2 draw at Old Trafford. You can give us a call 0345 111 7625. Let us know, first of all, your thoughts on Martial. 5 years, is that quite a long contract to give a striker? Do you believe he will be the excellent striker that we love him at Manchester United in them 5 years? Or if you completely disagree, 0345 111 7625, as well as Marouane Fellaini. We want someone who wants to come on the show who is upset that Fellaini has left the club and will be missed. So if you want to be that person, 0345 111 7625. Gentlemen, so for you, Jay, let's talk about the fact that Martial has got a 5-year contract at Manchester United. The doubts have all gone. The kind of ums and ahs of will he stay at the club? The Mourinho saga, if you believe some of the media rumours. But, he's at the club.
It's good to see the whole... And one of the things I didn't like was the whole Martial FC versus Top Reds debate that was going on. United fans getting at each other, and it's like if you supported Martial, you weren't a United fan at one point. You couldn't. It was like the two were mutually exclusive. He had his run-in with Mourinho in the summer when he stayed a bit longer after the birth of his child, which I thought was a bit harsh. Yeah. And we know what he can do. He forced his way into the team last season. I was saying that what I wanted to see him do was force his way into the team, make himself undroppable, and he did that under Mourinho. There's been this sort of revisionist theory that he's blossomed under Ole, and I think he has done well under Ole. He's probably maybe played a little bit better, but he was immense for Mourinho this season. Really, he's probably propped us up a bit, the goals that he scored and the way he was playing. So yeah, get him on that long-term deal. I think everyone can be happy with that. We know what a talent is, and we don't want him getting poached. Long-term deal, 5 years. So if anyone is coming in for him, they're going to have to pay silly money to get him. And hopefully, he's happy at United and we can see the best from him.
Webby?
Spot on everything what Jay says, I'd give him 10 years, me. I think he's that good, as a United player, like Jay was spot on. Under Mourinho, when it wasn't great for watching, he was one of the players who was getting you up, getting you excited, And obviously, he's still only young, but he's now 23, and hopefully, these 5 years and another contract after that, we see the best football of Anthony Martial at Old Trafford, and for me, it's a great deal now. For me, what they need to do next is get the keeper signed up, then I'll be happy.
Indeed. 0345 111 7625. Let's get the first caller on tonight. Give us a call right now. If you get on, we'll make sure we get you to you by the end of the show. Right, let's go to Ricky. Hello, Ricky.
Evening, boys.
How you doing, mate?
Fine, absolutely fine, yeah.
What are you making of Anthony Martial signing that 5-year deal at Old Trafford?
I'm over the moon that he signed it. I think he's been treated by Mourinho at times absolutely disgusting, really, how Mourinho treated him at times. The way he bombed him out when he signed Sanchez. I don't know if any of you can cast your mind back to when we signed Sanchez, but the previous 3 league games, Burnley away, Everton away, Stoke at home, Martial scored not just a goal, but a really good goal in each of those 3 fixtures. And then he put Sanchez in for 20-odd games, and I think Sanchez scored 3 in 20-odd games. And then somehow or another, he dawned on him that Martial's got to play there. He brings Martial back in. If you remember the little run he had, I think he scored 6 goals in 5 games when he brought him back. And all Martial did really was carry on where he left off. It's absolutely mind-boggling how he was treated in that period. So obviously it was a touch for Martial that Mourinho left, really, but he did get back into Mourinho's good books, obviously at that stage, but he did treat him terribly, and that's why he wouldn't sign. It took so long. But there you go. He did get back in his good books, but there was no reason for him to be out of the good books in the first place. The signing, I mean, Sanchez isn't bad, he's okay, but the signing of Sanchez when he's a left-sided player, when we've got Anthony Martial, who's only, how old is he, 21 or something? There's no need. It was an irrelevant
23.
It made us go backwards for 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, right, so he signs for 5 years. Is that a long period of time, or do you believe that there's so much confidence in him as an investment for the club?
it's definitely a good investment for the club. He's one of, people use the word world class too lightly for me, but he's one player we've got in our squad that can become a world class player without a doubt. He's got such quality on the ball, and the time that he takes when he gets the ball to make sure he gets the right pass. It's not. A lot of people think it's about the goals that he can score. That's just a bonus. When we were at Spurs last week, 2 or 3 weeks ago, he was the only, when we were under the cosh in the second half, he was the only player in the top third of the field who was getting the ball under and taking his time and holding the ball, which was giving the defenders a bit of respite. In that period, in the second half, even Marcus Rashford was just getting bumped off the ball and losing it left, right and centre. And then when he took Marshall off and put Rashford on the wing, I couldn't believe it. Marshall was the only one who was playing well for us in the last third at Spurs. And he's just a quality player, an absolute quality player, and I'm over the moon with these signed.
Over the moon. Ricky, thank you very much for your call.
Man,
Ricky, kicking things off for the show. 0345 111 7625. Anyone disagree with the fact that Martial has signed a 5-year deal for Old Trafford? Anyone not too happy? I saw people saying he's a bit inconsistent. If you believe that, give us a call and let's just have your opinion on air. 0345 111 7625. Come and speak to myself, Jay and Webby. We've got Temi on the phone. Temi, is that how I say it?
Good evening, guys. How are you?
Yeah, very well, mate. So you want to talk to us a bit about Martial, but mainly about raw talent to work on.
Yes, this is just back to the days of what this club is about. This reminds me of when we signed Ronaldo. Even when we signed Nani or any other young player, or even Rooney with potential. This is what this club is all about since the days of Sir Matt Busby. We sign young players in this club. That's what we've done. That's what we should do. That's what we should continue doing. That's what this club has been built on.
So what
young players coming in.
Are you happy then with Martial signing?
I am very, very happy. I am over the moon because I'll tell you what. As I said, I asked a panel of ex-football players when the other manager was still in charge. I'm not even bothered to mention his name. On our own home TV, and that was the last time I called our TV station. I asked him that with the way this club is run, can you tell me any young talented player that will come and play for our current manager? And then my question was not answered because it's true. And that's unheard of. How could a young player not want to play for Man United? That's what this club should. But every young player in the world.
It's like the young kid Greenwood in the under-18s. He's going to be something special now. I know things can change overnight, but watching him, his goals and assists, you can imagine if Mourinho brought him in, he'd play full-back.
Well, this is the thing.
They've got to be given the chance, and hopefully next year. We were speaking off air before saying what we could do with this club is a natural finisher.
Yeah.
I think we've got one there in Greenwood, is a great player, and I really hope, obviously, he gets his chance next year, and he can save us a few quid because the kid's got everything.
He does indeed. Thank you very much, Temi, for your call.
Yeah, cheers,
we are going to speak, obviously, a bit more in depth with the gentleman about Fellaini, but we have got a caller on, Farman. He wants to talk about Marouane Fellaini. Hello, mate.
Hi, how's everyone?
Yeah, very well.
Good evening.
Marouane Fellaini, get the ball rolling, Farman. The first person to come on and talk about the man. 0345 111 7625 if you want to be next. What are your feelings then? Fellaini has gone.
Believe it or not, it's actually the same as when we signed him on deadline day under Moyes. I was unsure, what's he going to bring to the team? Will he be a regular starter? And now it's been, I think, 5 or 6 years since he's left. And I think it's a good sign that he's leaving. And the same day we gave Martial a new contract as well. But Fellaini gave us so many important moments. You remember the FA Cup semi-final against Everton, the Europa League semi-final against Celta Vigo, even the Europa League final, he was the man of the match. So his first season was an absolute disaster. I'm sure everyone will agree on that. But
so was the manager's.
It was a disaster for everyone, wasn't it?
Yeah, it absolutely was. But I think when he was used rightly by Mourinho, by Van Gaal, there were good moments, but that's not the style Man United want to play. So it's good he's leaving, but I'm not going to wish him anything wrong. I'll only wish him the best because he's given us some good memories.
Do you know what you can say about him? I wish him all the best in China. He never complained. He was never going to get everything from the fans, but then the fans started to take to him, and then, like you said before, Jay, the game against City, the 4-2 at home,
4-2 against City,
Toure in his pocket. And that time Toure was one of the best midfield players in the world.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And fair play to him. And he's looked at this contract, offer, and you can't knock him for taking it. He's 31. I know he signed that new deal for us, but what's he on, something like 400 grand? Fair play to the man, and I'm just gutted that he'll never come back and play, because I'd give him a round of applause.
I know. I mean, I remember him getting booed in a pre-season.
Would you, Webby?
Yes, I would.
Yeah, just give him a round of applause.
Yeah, definitely.
Listen,
Definitely.
no matter what you think about Marouane Fellaini, right? He's won 3 trophies at United, including the Europa League. So, you know, you might not be his favourite person, but he played in 3 finals, like you were mentioning. Celta, like the lad on the phone mentioned, Celta Vigo in the semi-final there, man of the match against Ajax in the Europa League final. How many European trophies have City won in the last 3 years? Last 30 years? Exactly. How many trophies have Liverpool won in the last 10 years? Exactly. So, you know,
fair play.
he's not the most gracious player, but he did his job.
He knew what his strengths were. When he used to play for Everton against us and had seen his name, and the first game comes to mind is Van Persie's debut at Goodison, first game of the season.
Yeah,
now he's only up against Michael Carrick at emergency centre half that day, but we could not get the ball, and he scored the winner, and he was a right nuisance.
He wasn't using the old
4-4 draw at Old Trafford when we lost the league, a nuisance again.
Exactly.
So he did a great job for United, and I wish him all the best.
We're going to be speaking a bit more in depth about Manchester United. There is someone in the room who knows someone who's going to be extremely upset that Fellaini is gone. We don't know who that might be. It's not me. Let me just say that.
It's not me neither.
We've narrowed that down then. Let's go to Shyam, who wants to talk about dead wood at the club. Hello, Shyam.
Evening.
Hello there.
Oh,
Evening.
what
Good
are you
evening,
up to? What do you want to talk about, mate?
I'm just very glad that United announced Martial's contract, and although it is not yet confirmed, but I think Fellaini is going. So I need few more people to go along with him.
Name him.
Let's get rid of the dead wood then. What? Give us 3 names.
It should be Phil Jones, Ashley Young, Marcus Rojo, Damian, Chris Smalling. I can name them forever.
5 names.
Take money and don't do anything.
Shyam, we're starting a debate rolling there, mate.
I'm
Thank
telling
you for
now,
your call.
right? You give Smalling and Jones a chance. There's potential there, right? Take my word for it.
You give Smalling and Jones a chance, again.
Just give him another couple of 100 games and you'll see that it's in him.
Shyam, thank you very much for your call. 0345 111 7625. The phone lines are crazy, but if you want to get involved, you call us now. We'll try and get you on towards the end of the show, because we are here till 7 o'clock, wherever you're watching around the world. Let's just talk more about Martial. So, do you see him now, his role at the club, being that regular starter, that confidence? Because I know it was a big point of last season when Martial played. He scored wonderful goals in the first half of the season. Then Mourinho dropped him, and the momentum he built just sort of died. We've now brought him in as one of our main strikers, and he is just looking on fire. That is what he needs then to take himself to the next level. Because I don't think we've signed him on a 5-year contract for him to stay where he is now, the quality. I think we want to push him to a next level. But is he playing in the right position for him to take himself to that next level?
I think I like him on that cutting in. I think that's what suits him better, cutting in from the left-hand side. I think the problem we had was Rashford and him sort of seemed to fit the similar mould. And I felt a bit sorry for Martial as well, because you mentioning he sort of dropped at the wrong time, went off the boil a little bit, and then didn't go to the World Cup and France win the World Cup, and that must be difficult to take.
That must be
because 2016 he was like the golden boy at the Euros, and then he's watching Olivier Giroud score no goals and get no assists and pick up a World Cup winners medal. I'm not saying Giroud didn't play his part. No assists, but didn't. I don't think he had a shot on target. Sorry. So he must have been frustrated knowing that he could have been in that squad and picked up a medal, and seen Mbappe and all the rest of it get all the plaudits. So it must have been a frustrating time for him, and I'm really sort of, I admire the way he's got his head down. After the summer, he's had a baby, he could have spat his dummy out again, but he's knuckled down, made himself undroppable, and showed what a quality player he is. And I think you're right, Joe, I think we can see a big improvement from him. He's already a phenomenal player, but I think he's going to grow, he's going to get better. You think, but by the age of time, he's 24, 25, we could have one of the best strikers in the world on our hands. And
I can obviously, just going back to obviously the pre-season, when there was rumours that Mourinho wanted to swap him for William, and it wasn't just the odd. Apparently it was very. I'm not saying it was close, because I don't think Martial would have gone, but even just to think of that in the same sentence of 2 players, and hopefully we'll bear the fruits of this 5-year contract, and And I was so glad he never went to the World Cup. You know, personally, that he had it off like, and I know it's obviously different for him because he ended up winning the World Cup, and you're right about Giroud, but the kid's only going to get better and better, and he feels loved and he wanted, you know, and for me, like what Rick said before, when Mourinho dropped him, he was playing great football and scoring goals and being a very, very important part of the team, and then he comes along and he drops him, and then obviously when he's bringing him back in for the odd game, he wasn't playing well.
No.
He was getting thrown in, but now, on a good run, is he a better left-sided player in the Premier League? I'd say he'd be up there in the top 3 in my eyes.
Good relationship with Pogba as well, on and off the pitch. I like them two together. They link up well.
Bit like me and you, Jake.
Yeah, they are. We are the Paul Pogba and Anthony Martial of Salford.
Let's see if no man who is on the phone thinks of that. Jay and Webby, are they the Martial and Rashford of the radio world, no man?
Martial?
I'm not entirely sure. I'd probably say they're more like the Dwight York and Andy Cole.
Oh, I'll say that. I'll tell you
that's
what.
even better.
Get this lad on again. Talking sense.
You don't agree with the caller we had before called Shyam about getting rid of Deadwood, is that right?
Yeah, it's sort of a view that I've built up over this past year, to be honest, that I think Manchester United fans need to be a bit more realistic about how many players a team can get rid of at any one time. Because I think a lot of fans that call up and say, you know, we need to get rid of this Deadwood. Like, I was looking at my tweets from like 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and last season, and it was quite funny because I had the same players like over and over again on my list of players that need to leave the club, and I'm just thinking to myself, why haven't these players left the club yet? And then I thought about it like quite deeply, and I realised you can't expect every player in your team to be world class. Some of them just need to come in and do a job. Like, it's not exactly FIFA in real life, is it, where you can just have a million players and they can all be like ridiculously good, and you can have like the best team in England, like two of the best 11s in England in your team. Like, that's not really realistic, is it?
No. Can I bring in?
Point where?
Go on, sorry.
Yeah.
I just want to bring in another caller. He's called Carl. You stay there, no man. So we're talking about players, Carl, that need to move on, or is there such thing as Deadwood at the club? Carl, you've got an opinion on players at Manchester United that a certain manager signed.
Yes, hey guys, how are we doing today?
Very well, mate, Carl.
Yeah, the thing is, I have no clue why players like Phil Jones, Chris Smalling, Darmian are still in the club. Because, like, we can all agree that they're not starting 11 players. Am I right?
To what standard? To a Manchester United standard? Probably not.
Yeah, like they're not coming into our 11. That's for sure right now with Bailly, Lindelof. And what I was thinking is, instead of putting them on when Bailly or Lindelof is injured, why not promote the youth to be our 3rd and 4th and 5th centre back? Because they're not doing the job. And ever since they've come to the club, I mean, Chris Smalling and Jones had the potential of the world, and it seems like they never fulfilled it. They've gone backwards, actually. And when it comes to Darmian, I mean, he's not as good as we thought he would be defensively, that's for sure. And he doesn't bring anything into the attack.
I think Darmian, if you look at Darmian, I think he started his United career off very well. We looked so balanced with Shaw at left back, Darmian at right back, and then Shaw got the terrible injury in Eindhoven. And then I think for me, what sent him in for about 6 months is Van Gaal played him left back at Arsenal, and he got absolutely
that
mugged.
First half hour at the Emirates was,
and he never recovered in about 5 months.
It was horrible,
and I think he'll do a good job for you, but maybe not for United, you know. But he's never.
I get where you're coming from. The problem we've got at United, I think, defensively is, you mentioned some of the players there. You mentioned Eric Bailly. I love Eric Bailly, but he's injury prone, or he got himself suspended.
Yep.
So then you're looking at, Marcus Rojo might be a good option. He's constantly on the injury treatment table.
Or burning toast.
Yeah, he's something going on. You mentioned that you don't want to play Darmian at right back, but you've got Ash Young, who's wrong side of 30, Valencia's wrong side of 30. There are lots of youngster. But sometimes you need to rotate, or you pick up injuries.
By the way, I think he's been totally bombed, Valencia. You know, I think he's totally bombed. You know, and I was a massive fan of him as a right-sided player, and then obviously Van Gaal coming in and seemed to play him right back, and he never got the chance to play his normal position. For me, that injury was a bad injury, you know, and it's still it was a very bad injury. But like you're saying, these players are on decent contracts. They're not just going to walk away. You know what I mean? At that time of the career. So can you fault him? No. Well, let's see what happens in the next few hours. But I can't see anyone leaving.
Carl, Norman, thank you very much for your call.
Cheers.
If you want to get in and have a chat with us, Webby and Jay here for the next about 40 minutes, give us a call now, 0345 111 7625. Got to go to a break, but whilst we're having this break, we've got a question for you. Who has scored more goals for Manchester United? Was it Michael Owen or Marouane Fellaini? Get in the comment section. I'll have them up so I can read out your names on here. The Full-Time Devils Takeover, or give us a call. 0345 111 7625. See you in a couple of minutes. Welcome back to the Manchester United Football Social. It is the Full-Time Devils Takeover, and we are here with Jay and Webby for another hour. We've got this to talk about. We're done 40 minutes, sorry. We've done half the show already.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just wishing that it was longer. We are talking about Martial signing that new contract for Manchester United, so get your calls in about that. We want you to get your calls in about the game on Tuesday against Burnley. What could Ollie learn from what happened at Old Trafford there? 2-2 it finished. So what did you learn as a fan about that game, and what could Ollie learn from it? 0345 111 7625. And of course, one Marouane Fellaini. We'll get to him after I give you the answer to the question. So who scored more goals, guys? Is it Michael Owen or the wonderful Marouane Fellaini for Manchester United?
Well, after last week's
Drubbing, absolute whitewash.
Absolute whitewash.
I have gone for Marouane Fellaini.
And what have you gone for, Jay?
I'll go for Owen.
Owen, you're wrong, unfortunately, Jay. Webby, you're correct. So,
to be fair, he named all of Owen's goals. He knew that. He went through
all 5.
Yeah.
Owen got 17, actually.
Oh, did he?
Really?
And Marouane Fellaini got 22.
Oh,
I didn't know. Owen got 17.
Glad to hear anyway.
It's time. We're going to get some callers on. I know we've got John lined up, and we've also got Adam coming on the phone. But let's just chat about Marouane Fellaini. He's left Manchester United. Unfortunately, what are you laughing at, Jay? Unfortunately,
You went all quiet then. I thought we were about to have a moment's silence.
we can do if you want. He left Manchester United. Really a player that divides fans more than a player I have known. You love him or you hate him, and if you hate him, you can also say that you respect him for giving 100% every game. But if you love him, you might think, there's so much you can delve into.
Where's this going to?
You can also think this.
But remember this.
I knew
remember
it.
this well.
I knew it.
Marouane Fellaini for the Ballon d'Or 2015. Right?
Who's
Mark
that
my
idiot?
words. He's a football genius. He's the new Darren Fletcher.
Now, that was from a video from Full-Time Devils in 2015. I reckon we should play it again.
But remember this. Remember this well. Marouane Fellaini for the Ballon d'Or 2015. Right? Mark my words. He's a football genius. He's the new Darren Fletcher.
He's the new Darren Fletcher, which is the best line in the whole thing. So, Jay, you must be so upset Marouane Fellaini is gone.
Tell you what, I'm never coming on here again. You pull things out from years ago. You caught me at the derby. That was at the Etihad.
Are you upset? Are you upset?
Listen, I supported Marouane Fellaini. I thought he did a good job for us. I think he gave us a lot of good memories. Like you say, divided opinion, but he was one of those players that he always got stuck in, especially with his elbows, scored some important goals, late goals as well, late goals in Europe, late goals against Arsenal.
Very important goals he scored for our football club.
And I think he did a good job for us. And he wasn't the most graceful player to watch, but when you needed someone to either get stuck in or get their head on something, he'd do it. And let's not forget, we brought him in and he was an attacking midfielder, and Moyes started playing as a defensive midfielder. One of his first jobs was trying to mark Yaya Toure at the Etihad, which obviously didn't end too well. but then a couple of years later, a season later, we did a job on him. So I think he did what he was asked to do. Won, like I said earlier, won us a few trophies. I wish him well.
It was limited what he could do with a ball, for the defensive midfield player. Like I said, when he played against Everton, it was always an handful playing in that number 10. But we had Mato, we had other players in that 10, Rooney. So he wasn't going to play there, was he worth bringing on? And he got us quite a few points by coming on late and making their defence and mess up and be a bit unshaky. That was his game. He was an handful, when love him or hate him. I thought he did a great job for the club, and like I say again, I wish him all the best.
Put it this way, would you sign, if you go back in time, would you still have signed him?
No.
Yes.
Let's go to Joe. That is a good question.
Yes.
Would you still sign him?
Yeah. If you go back to 2000, was it 2003?
Do you know the
Would
thing
you still sign Phil Jones?
Phil, I've told you before, give him time. What's up with you? He's got so impatient.
We've got a lot of calls to get through. Let's go through them. John, how are you, John?
Hi, John.
Hi guys, you okay?
Yeah, very good, mate. Give people time. That's what it says here on your notes. How much time are you giving people, John?
Well, we certainly got to give everyone to the end of the season, haven't we? You know what I mean? We can only do that anyway. We've not got rid of anyone. So, and we've seen under Ollie, he's turned a few players around already. So, if they can't perform under Ollie, then to me, then they need to go. But at least give them to the end of the season now. See what Ollie can do. See if we can turn some of these players around.
What players are you urging to improve, John? What players do you want to see do well under the red shirt?
For me, Jones, I think he was always touted. One of Sir Alex is the next big thing, and I think even labelled in the same breath as Duncan Edwards. He's never really come on, and he's had a few injuries, but he gives his 100%. Do you know what I mean? But that's probably his downside because he doesn't know when to pull out of a tackle, and he always goes in 100% for everything. So. But there's a few players that people have mentioned. I think we need to just give people time. Ollie needs to get his centre-back partnership. Certainly the full-backs, I know the guys have touched on, the wrong side of 30 now, aren't they? So we need to be looking to replace those. But, let's get to the end of the season. Let's take stock and then review what we need to do, I think.
John, John, great to hear from you again, mate. Yeah, everyone wants to say, I hope you're well. Just a quick one, mate, because I know you watch all the sort of the youth and the academy games. Do you think there's anyone knocking on the door that could come into the team before the end of the season?
Obviously, Webby mentioned Greenwood, but yeah, some of the good lads there, Levitt and, a few other lads. Obviously we've seen Chong get his debut. I think Garner will get a game before the end of the season. You know what I mean? So, but I think two of our best centre halves are out on loan at the minute, aren't they? So, Foster Mensah and Tuanzebe.
Tuanzebe's doing well, isn't he? He's doing really well. I know Foster Mensah's had his problems, but Tuanzebe definitely. I
think out of the two, what John's just mentioned there, I think Tuanzebe's the one with a bright future at United. I like Foster Mensah, obviously. Was a regular full-back under Van Gaal, then he bombed him out the semi-final when he gave that penalty away.
That was it, wasn't it?
No, and that
that was it.
No forgiveness there.
If you can't get a game at Fulham, and that's no disrespect to Fulham, then what chances have you got starting for us, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm wrong, but I think the kid at Villa's got more of a chance.
John, thank you very much for your call,
John.
mate.
Cheers, John.
Right,
Cheers,
let's go to Adam, who wants to also talk about the dead wood at the club. Adam, mate, you're on Full-Time Devils Takeover. What do you want to say?
Just on Webby's thoughts on Darmian and the deadwood who needs to get out. Fair enough, Fellaini looks like he's on his card going elsewhere. But whether we can get rid of Darmian, Jones, or let's say Rojo, who do you think we can replace him with?
If you look at Darmian, this has been ongoing since the start of the season. And moved back to Italy. Then Mourinho said something about him staying and letting go in January. And for me, if he's not playing, then. Do you know what gets me though about this? We'll buy players in for certain amounts of money, and we seem to give them away. For stupid. Look, the one what really does mine in is that Forlan one. We give him away for something like £1 million.
I think Chicharito was the one for me.
It's strange how we give him away.
Banging goals for fun. Was it 7 million or something? When who was it? He went to Sunderland for double that price from Liverpool. I forget his name, but yeah, it was. It was just one of those. It was just like a fire sale at United. We want to get rid of it. Just go, don't we?
I just think
don't worry about the fee.
The likes of Rojo, I think that when he's fit, he's a decent player at centre half, but he's never fit. And for me, he might as well not be at the club. Let's try and get some money. It's an hard one at the moment because does Ollie make these decisions? Is Ollie going to be there next summer? The new manager might fancy him. The new manager wants him but doesn't want him. It's going to be hard.
The problem we've had as well with all these managers come in, spend a load of money on players that they rate. Then they get sacked. New manager comes in, buys in his own players that he rates. New manager comes in. That's what we've had the last sort of 5 years, haven't we, since Fergie retired? Yeah. Moyes likes Fellaini and brought in Mata. Then Van Gaal brought in Falcao, Di Maria and Herrera and all the rest of it. Then obviously Mourinho comes in, he wants Pogba and Lukaku, and you're sort of going through this cycle, aren't you? It just sort of needs to start thinking a bit more long term, which is the good thing about Martial getting a long term deal.
Well, from what like Neville was saying a couple of weeks ago about United getting a manager, they shouldn't change the way the clubs run. For example, United's a youth academy, attacking football. Another manager, Van Gaal, was backwards, sideways. If we did get a potential new manager, do you not think it could risk us from playing attacking football, or compared to what Ollie's doing at the moment?
Jay?
I think at the moment Ollie's playing football the way we want it to be played, isn't it? We're all happy with the fact that we're attacking. He's giving some of the players that Mourinho wasn't favouring a chance, and a consistent running the team, the likes of Rashford, Martial and Lingard playing together as a front three almost. I know they didn't all play against play the other night, but they against Burnley, but usually they're the starting three, and it's working, and that's what you want to see. But I think it's not a popular thing to say, but there is an element of the journey being out a little bit with Ollie, because we've had this fantastic start, but for me, it's when the things start getting a bit rough. When we've got some of the, I know we've had difficult games, but when we've got City, Liverpool, PSG, then if he proves himself, then you think Chelsea away, then you say, right, listen, let's get. I'd love to see Ollie succeed. I'd love to see him get a long-term job, but I don't think it's written in stone that he will. And if we have a struggle, and at the end of the season with
people are going to say, don't give him a job, we need someone with more experience,
and especially if someone like Zidane or whoever's available, people might think that's a bit more appealing.
Adam, thank you very much for your call, mate. That was wonderful to get you on. We got Nick on the line now. The calls are coming thick and fast. Make sure you give us a bell. 0345 111 7625. You want to talk about Martial, do you, Nick?
Yeah, I just wanted to well, really, it was Rashford getting playing on left. You guys think it's not suited. I want to say hello to Webby as well. Network Rail Finest.
Thank you.
I think he's got that.
Just to see where you come off of it, because and another thing as well, like Solskjaer, I over the last 10 games, 9 games, 10 games, whatever, I've had the feeling like United's back, like I love watching my team again. And under Mourinho, I was dreading, if I missed a match, I was dreading getting home and watching Match of the Day, because I just knew what
it was Match of the Day under Mourinho.
Didn't know it was still on, did we?
This is what I'm saying. It's like now I've got that feeling back. Like United should have, and that's clearly just through Ollie being there, and it's just state of mind. I mean, them players, and he's got the philosophy, United philosophy, because it's massive, and it's waned over the last 3 managers. In fact, it's waned, and it's got a lot of United fans down. Yeah. And now I'm dreading. I hope the results do go well, because I'm dreading like us getting to the end of the season, another manager coming in and saying things starting again. And another thing as well, like Mourinho, what he done to us, Mourinho, because he was playing with all. I don't care what anybody says. He was playing with all. They hated him. Yeah, he done it at Chelsea as well. Yeah, we still took him. We still got him.
So you say we should have looked at what he was there.
Nick, just let me sorry about this, but we knew what was getting with Mourinho when we got him. We knew what kind of coach he was. We knew the type of football. It's like the year they won the league before, they all down tools on him. The games he won 1-0. I remember the game against us, we absolutely battered him at Stamford Bridge. Had 60% possession, we got beat 1-0. But that's Mourinho all over, But what you're saying about the feel-good factor, we're looking forward now, going to matches. We're looking forward to getting up on that Saturday or Sunday morning with a spring in our step. We're smiling. We're happy. We're not coming out of that ground and thinking, I'm not watching Match of the Day. I didn't buy a paper for 3 years under the last 3 managers. I thought Match of the Day had been scrapped. I was in that canal. Now I'm happy as a pig in doodah.
Happy as a pig in doodah. Nick, thank you very much for coming on and giving us a call. Top man, make sure you always give us a call as well. 0345 111 7625. Right, we're going to speak to Danny. He's in Canada. He's been on the phone for a bit, so let's get to him. Danny boy.
How's it going, guys?
Very, very
Danny,
well, mate. All the way
Danny, before
Canada.
we start, what temperature were you snowed in?
Well, in Toronto, it's kind of okay now. We were snowed in 2 days ago. It was really crazy.
Proper stuff.
It was crazy.
Well, Webby is the weatherman, so he's always...
I just like to know how cold it is, because when it gets cold in this country, we go to pop.
Always wants to know about the weather across the world.
I mean, the best thing about it is Canada and the UK, similar weather, but not as wet.
I didn't know.
Does it rain a lot?
Go on, give me your points,
Fellaini.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, he's a I don't want to say he's a victim. He's a sign of the things we got wrong in the first transfer window. He's been a good servant. He's done his best. it's a good deal. He goes to China, makes a lot of money, and he could come back to England or, Europe anytime. But I just feel like he needs to move on. He doesn't fit the system. We need an agile player because when we bought him, he was doing bits in Everton. He was behind the striker. Now he can't play that position right now. So he's a good servant. He's done so. He could. It's a good deal for him.
Yeah, it is indeed a good deal for Fellaini. Danny, thank you very much for giving us a call. We got to take a little break. You got about 20 minutes left to still get your call in. We've got a call all the way from New York that we're going to get on after the break, so stay right there, mate. Before we go to the break, question number 2. Who has scored more goals, Marouane Fellaini or Diego Forlan for Manchester United? 0345 111 7625 into the comment section on YouTube. One from Josh Vickers here. Webby needs to start a church.
A what?
A church, like a religion.
What I do?
Well, yeah, you do. Because
he burst into flames if he walks into a church.
No, not start one. Anyway, yeah. Oh, yeah, and we could just all wear United shirts. Anyway, we'll get more into Webby's church, right? Right, I was confused. The church in. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Excess Manchester. Manchester United Football Social with Full-Time Devils.
Welcome back to the show. It is the Full-Time Devils takeover here on XS Manchester for the Manchester Football Social. My name is Joe McGrath and I'm sat with Jay and Webby for the final part of the show where we're going to be talking and looking back on Ollie's game on 2-2 against Burnley and looking ahead to the fixtures that are coming up in February. We want your calls as well as ever. 0345 111 7625. The answer: who scored more goals, Forlan or Fellaini? Let's go see you then, Webby.
He came from Uruguay. No. I'm right, am I? Forlan?
Fellaini. All day.
You're wrong, Webby. Yeah. Fellaini 22, Forlan only 17.
The equaliser.
You got it, mate. The equaliser. Hey. 1-1. Right, we're going to go all the way now to America. We've got Brannying. Am I saying it completely wrong? Wow.
Yeah. Just I want you to talk about the deadwood in our club. That's Rojo, Damian, Valencia, for the matter of the fact that he is unable to give crosses to our target man Lukaku. So what's your say on that? What's your opinion on that?
Let's get to Jay and Webby. Thank you very much for your call, mate. Webby.
Yeah, we're going to go on about
we talked about
it. The same players, week in, week out. They're just, unfortunately, good players, but not good enough for our club. When they've come in, they've done a job. A lot of them have been injury prone for most of the time. So if they go, they're on big contracts, so they're not just going to go just disappear for nearly will it to any club. It's got to be what's right for them.
I think as well, you've got to make a decision long term about your manager first before you start carting off half your squad.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's all well and good getting rid of Fellaini today, but you can't get rid of, say, Fellaini, Darmian, Jones, Rojo, Smalling, Lukaku, some of the names being mentioned, and then bring in a new manager. I think you have to sort of get your manager in long term place, whether it's Ollie or someone else, and then let him decide who he thinks is up to the job and who isn't, because we don't know what goes on behind closed doors as well with training.
Different managers fancy different players, in different positions. Who would have thought years ago that Ashley Young would be our first choice right back?
Let's not forget as well, Darmian's been linked with a move to Juve. It's not like he's been linked with a move to
Dog and Duck, you know what I mean?
Or Cowden Beef, as you were saying.
Cowden Beef,
Cowden Beef are really good.
Don't knock Cowden Beef.
We got calls coming through thick and fast for this final part. Keep belling. If you can't get through, we'll try and get to you. Let's just talk briefly about the game on Tuesday, the 2-2. Jay, what can people learn, or what could Ollie learn about that game?
I think one of the main talking points was obviously Andreas Pereira on it. Everyone's sort of slagging him off on social media and saying he shouldn't have started him and it was a mistake. But I just think he should have started him. And that might sound a bit perverse considering he gave the ball away and it cost us a goal and he was arguably our worst player. But I think you can't, if you're going to give players a chance, they're the sort of games you give them a chance. Because when we have the PSGs and the Chelseas and the Cities and the Liverpools, and if we have got injuries, you'll know which players are right and which aren't. And who knows, if Pereira gets another game, he might be a little bit better because now he's played one game in the last, whatever it was, 6 months.
We're looking at it there, and obviously Pereira obviously starts the game. He bigged him up all week in training, like when they mentioned him being out of contract. But you've got to look at that. His last game for United was Brighton away, which was over 100 days ago.
That was an Arthur game as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I don't think he's played in any reserve games or anything, or any cup games. You know, it was a disaster. But like Jay was saying, if we do get into suspense, these lads have got to be ready, got to have a match time to step in. And unfortunately, it never worked for him against Burnley. But I do expect to probably see him in a couple of games or in and around the squad or on the bench.
It's all his MO as well in a minute. He's saying that certain players, he'll give him a chance, and he's showing that. He's not just saying, if he says that and then just sticks with the same 11, then people are going to think, oh, he's just talking nonsense. But he said he'll give Pereira, like you said, he was bigging him up, gave him his chance, didn't work out. But I don't think it was a mistake to give him a chance.
Jones, by the way.
Let's not bring get into the comment section about what you've learnt most from that 2-2 draw at home against Burnley. This is the phone in, so let's get to your calls. Now you can talk about whatever you want. So we've got Mo on the phone. Hello, Mo. Hello, Mo.
Hello, Mo.
Mo. How you doing, mate?
Hello, mate. Hello, baby. Yeah.
Hey, Mo.
I'm here.
What do you want to talk about?
I wanted to speak about, you know, like if Mourinho was here, Anthony Martial wouldn't have signed. We have to give credit to the board that, you know, that they forced Martial to stay. You know what I mean? Like we usually criticize the board. Let's get a bit of praise to Ed Woodward because he forced Martial to stay. It was against Mourinho's wishes to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you know what the word on the street, lads, is that obviously Woodward's got a very good relationship with the younger elements of the squad, you know, and it's shown that with a 5-year deal. Now, for me, Spanish Dave's got to be next very, very soon.
Yeah.
Herrera's got to sign his contract. Massa, yes. People are saying yeah, people are saying no. There is a few players what should be leaving the club now, and we thank them for their service, but if they're on good contracts, Joe, they're not going to want to go. They're on big dough. They're on massive dough.
Right where they are. Let's go to Russell. Hello, Russell. Thank you, Mo, by the way, for your call.
Cheers, Mo.
Thanks, Mo. Russell. How are you, man?
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, mate. You want to talk about Martial?
Yeah, I want to talk about Martial, man. I'm absolutely buzzing about the new contract, yeah. I don't know. I think personally, I feel like it was like the previous caller said, it was almost done with Martial being at Manchester United, and I'd literally given up all my hope. And personally, I think he's basically our best attacking player. And I know we've got Rashford, and a lot of people probably think Rashford is a better player, rightfully so, with his current form. But personally, I think Martial has a lot more to his game than Rashford. And the fact that we've managed to tie him down to a 5-year contract means he's going to have his prime years at our club. And I'm really, really excited about that. I don't know what you guys think about Martial and Rashford, but personally, I think Rashford is more of a gem than Martial is more of a gem than Rashford. It's just that he's not born in Manchester, obviously. But I'm really, really excited about that.
I mean, I think they're both top drawer, aren't they, with Martial and Rashford? And I get your excitement. I feel it as well. I know why you're buzzing. I think the difference as well with Rashford, people forget those couple of years make a difference. Martial's he's like a couple of years older than Rashford. He's got a little bit more experience, and I think that a young player can make a bit of a difference. I think if you sort of had to say who is the better player or who's the more effective player, you probably would say Martial, but Rashford's not far behind, and I think Marcus Rashford, for me, he's arguably been our player of the season because I think he's one of the players that even under Mourinho was shining.
I think with what you're saying there, Jay, I think Rashford has got to play down the middle. Don't get me wrong, I think he does a good job on the left, but I think if we set up that three of Martial, Rashford and Lingard, I'm happy because we did half miss Lingard on Tuesday night.
And the good thing with that as well, you mentioned a 5-year contract. This is a trio that could play together for the next 4 or 5 years.
You get that right. Bill, you're on as our final caller today, mate. What do you want to talk about?
Hey guys, I'm really disappointed with the club.
Go on.
They should have known before Ollie came in who they were needing in the January transfer window, not just signing up the players that they've let.
Bill,
he was there,
Bill.
Bill.
A good point there as well.
He was going in his stride, and I could hear that he was going to be a good caller. Bill, call back next week. Thank you very much. We can try and get you on. We've only got a minute and a half left, and we need to look ahead to Manchester United. Obviously, games coming
Leicester,
thick
Sunday.
and fast for United in February. Like it is a carnage month. And the phone-ins are going to be mental. This starts with Leicester.
Sunday. Leicester should be a hard game. You obviously didn't watch last night's game. I was cleaning the neighbour's car. Not bothered about Liverpool. But by all
Does the
accounts,
neighbour know that?
Yes.
Is that after you potted it?
Yeah. By all accounts, Leicester played well. You know,
I watched it, and but Leicester could have won that. The Marty Gray squares it for Madison. Telling you, different story.
Different story.
Yeah.
Minutes ago, Webby, you go spot on with your score prediction last week.
3-1.
3-1. Do you remember?
Replay it back like your comment on Fellaini.
Yeah, let's just dig out the ones that make him look good, eh?
Yeah, we do. So what are you going with
I'm going to go this week. I'm going to go Leicester City 1, Manchester United 2.
Jay?
He's the new Darren Fletcher.
Yes. I stand by those comments, by the way. It's not my fault that the journalists who vote for the Ballon d'Or weren't on the right page. Hey.
What are you going with?
Ahead of my time. It's always been my problem. I'm going to go 4-1 United.
4-1 United. Right, gents, thank you very much.
Thank you.
For joining us. It's been a whirlwind of a show.
Goes too quick.
It goes rapid. 500,000 subscribers now on Full-Time Devils, so
well
just
done.
basically
Yeah, well done.
Well done to producer Chris as well.
Chrissy boy. Big round of applause for producer Chris. Gentlemen, Webby, thank you very much.
Always a
Good
pleasure,
weekend.
sir.
Yourself as well. Back next week with your calls, making sure you join us Thursday from 6 o'clock. Subscribe to Full Time Devils. Thank you very much for watching and listening.
Excess Manchester.